Good morning and welcome to the new edition of Dr. Lamba's Awakening Call. Just a couple of days back, the Supreme Court of India ordered the rapist of an 8-year-old girl to be hanged. And yesterday, an epoch-making event took place. The governor of Alabama signed an order which had duly been passed by the state Congress that the rapists of the girls below the age of 13 shall not be released from jail, even under for parole, until they have been chemically castrated. Alabama is the ninth state to do it. And that is a real good punishment, but unfortunately, there have been murmurs against this order even. The American Council of the Civil Liberties called this punishment cruel, as if the raping of the girls below the age of 13 is a benign event which needs to be celebrated rather than the culprit punished. We have seen horrible things happen. In Pakistan, a girl is raped, then that happened 3 days back. I'm not talking of the old ages. Just 3 days back, a girl is raped. She complains to the village elders that she has been raped. And do you know what's the punishment? The rapist is not punished, but the girl is punished, and she is termed in the local dialect Kari, a bad woman. So she is to be stoned to death. And that happens in 21st century Pakistan. In India, a 3-month-old girl is raped. A 2-month-old girl is raped. Earlier, 1-month-old girl was raped who had died. And these two girls are in the hospital. Who knows what their life is going to be? And as I wrote in my article today, not today, a few days back, that for many women, especially for young girls, the most unsafe place is the home. Maximum rapes take place by the siblings, the cousins, the uncles, and in some cases by the father as well. All that is abominable. As a matter of violation of the body of a woman, and a child at that is not only inhuman, is callous, unacceptable. And yet, when the American Council of the Civil Liberties says that the rapist should not be castrated, that takes a cake. I simply imagine to what extent the so-called political correctness would go. A terrorist has human rights, but the hundreds of the people killed by the terrorists have no rights. Just yesterday, 261 Christians were killed in terror attacks in Africa. Earlier, church attacks took place. in Sri Lanka. There was hue and cry when much of the attacks took place in Christchurch, and that was justified. Nobody has a right to attack not only the religious places, but any place. Life is something sacrosanct. But my contention is that these so-called self-appointed, self-anointed custodians of morality and human rights are up in arms and cry violation of human rights when the culprit is punished. Would this not give rise to lynching? When the people know that the culprit is punished, not appropriately, but is handled with a kid glove. Sometimes they take a plea of mental instability. Sometimes they take plea of sudden provocation. Sometimes they blame the girls for being improperly dressed, as if a 3-month-old child or 8-year-old child dresses of our own accord. And even grown-ups, why should they not dress the way they want? If the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, the lust is also in the eye of the beholder. So my contention is that these custodians of morality, these custodians of human rights, why do they not speak for the human rights of the most vulnerable sections of society? Children, and especially infants, are the most vulnerable sections of society. And they are the subject of these rapists. So when the Alabama governor signs this order saying that the rapists should be castrated, it's a welcome sign. As a matter of fact, she has a bit more lenient. She says they should not be released from jail till they are castrated chemically. As a matter of fact, as soon as they are punished, I'm not saying as they're charged, when they're punished, they should be castrated immediately, even while in jail. And in case you don't do it, what happened in Haryana 2 days back would be a common thing. There a boy raped a girl, and the villagers simply started beating him, and he was living no more. So this anger and the resentment of the people is justified. I'm not saying that the lynching should be permitted. But then by making the laws, stupid laws, which have no deterrence, you are inciting the people to anger. And the pleas taken by the organizations like American Council of Civil Liberties makes the anger turn into a volcano. The volcano of anger would find its outlet. Eruption of anger has to be there. And this eruption can have untold social ill effects. I think that the action of Alabama governor is welcome. And as a matter of fact, Congress at the national level in USA should accept that as a model piece of legislation and enact a federal legislation similar to that. And not only that, this castration should be a universal accepted thing, that one of the punishments, I'm not saying don't give any other punishment, just one of the punishments for rape should be castration. That way you are saving the vulnerable sections of society who are unable to defend themselves. And then another thing, why should anybody even have a notion of violating the body? And it's not only the violation of the body, it's violation of the spirit of the people. So why should anybody have that notion? Even the thought is pernicious, hateful, despicable. But thoughts cannot be punished. Actions can be. So the slightest manifestation of such a thought should come and be met with strict. Now, another thing that we always ignore is we find stupid pleas to protect the rapists. One Indian national leader, Mulayam Yadav of India, said, well, the boys would be boys, as if being boys gives them a permit and a license to rape the girls. My question to Mulayam at that time was simple. Suppose your daughter is raped, would you still say boys are boys? Gangster as he is, he would take law in his own hand and definitely kill the person, adding to his tally of murders he had already committed and got committed. Today there is a need not to justify or find stupid reasons for this most hateful, despicable action. Some people say, well, the women dress provocatively and attract lustful eyes. That's why the burqa should be there. Others say that the Western culture is responsible, which is stupid because in the West also this is taking place all over. As a matter of fact, in East it's much more than in the West. The unsafe homes are more in Asia than they are in Europe. So, finding the scapegoats, finding the reasons is not a solution. What Alabama governor has done is a way out. I fully agree, it's not going to solve the problem. But such a pernicious social, psychological problem cannot be solved only by one action. But this one action is a pointer to what further actions can be taken and should be taken to protect more than 50% of the population, which is women. Out of it, 30% are the infants and the teenagers, and they need protection. Another thing that has to be done is, we talk of the gender equality, yes, but the gender equality would mean that you first empower the weaker sex, which we are not doing. We talk of the gender equality at the board level, and that's a mirage. We talk of the gender equality in legislatures, that is hogwash. We talk of the gender equality in service, and we know even today, even in USA, even in Europe, who pride themselves on being advanced countries, the gender equality is not there. It's more for show than for reality. What we need is an active, judicious action by the judiciary and stringent laws by the executive. The laws have to be formulated like the Alabama governor has signed that order. And now it's up to the judiciary to implement the laws without the slightest wavering. That way lies some hope for this exploited section of society. Thank you.